We are coming to you. We've been interviewing lots of different businesses over the last week or so, and we decided that it was time for us to introduce ourselves to you. You know us primarily with DavieLiFE, especially myself and Molly. But we do a whole lot more, and that's something that we've never really spent a lot of time talking about. But we wanted to share that with you because we thought it might be of interest. So first of all, I want to introduce everybody who's on this live. First, myself, Wendy Horn, and then when I call your name, y'all just show your hand because I know we're going to be turning it over to everybody to talk. We have Molly Ridenauer, Amber Butler, and Jordan Bolch. Okay. The main thing we wanted to hop on here for a few minutes and share with you guys is let you know that we do things other than DavieLiFE magazine. I'm going to turn it over to Molly here in just a minute and let her share a little bit about what she does, but then also share a little bit more about some other things that she does for Sum5 in addition to DavieLiFE. And then we'll turn it over to Jordan and Amber as well. A lot of folks don't realize that we are a full service marketing company. We can offer obviously the advertising portion of it, but we can do all aspects of marketing in terms of that can include graphic design, that can include web development, copywriting, social media management, newsletter development, lots of different things. So we wanted to share with you guys some of the things that we are doing currently and just let you get to know us a little bit better as well. So Molly, go.
Yeah, so most of you primarily know me through relationship.
Sorry.
I've been able to work with Wendy and DavieLiFE for about 8 years, a little more than 8 years now. I started on the sales side of it, and because of the relationship that I was able to establish with a lot of the local businesses in Davie County and, reaching beyond that into Forsyth County and Yadkin County a little bit, we quickly saw that many of the businesses we were working with needed help in other areas. So I have been able to step beyond the DavieLiFE sales role and work with many local businesses on social media, anything from developing graphics and content to monitoring pages and posting and creating new social media channels. We've been working on other marketing materials, like Wendy mentioned before, newsletters, website refreshes, and Amber will speak to that in a minute, but website design, web refreshes, integration of even social media with your website, and I've been able to work in a project management role on many of those. But, primarily a lot of it goes back to DavieLiFE. Like, we're so thankful for the supporters that we have and for the people that have chosen to commit to the magazine, and are just really thankful that we've been able to work with many of them in other areas.
Right. I think, I don't really think when we first started this, we actually saw the marketing side of it coming. It kind of evolved, but we do find a lot of our businesses and organizations within the magazine who, because we do only publish quarterly, they have other needs, and because they are running a business, and a lot of businesses are like this, marketing sometimes sort of falls to the wayside because that's not at the top of the list to keep the doors open. However, when you do spend some focus on that, it can certainly keep more folks coming through the doors. So that's where I think we've been able to kind of fill that hole for several businesses in the area, being able to get some things done that otherwise they just don't have time to do. So, and I want to mention, Molly pointed out the social media management. Obviously, that is something where we can generate content, images that can be scheduled for you. But another thing that I think businesses who we do that for really enjoy is we can sort of be that second set of eyes for if you have a negative comment, if you have a message come through that maybe you didn't see, we can make sure that's brought to your attention. So there are lots of things that go into that that service that we provide. And don't you think, Molly?
Absolutely. And another thing is just that we live and we work in this community. And so sometimes we are, able to see events that are going to happen, or things that one business may benefit from that another's doing, or the same with nonprofits and other organizations. And so I think that's a real advantage. And hopefully, yes, I feel like we're using this information that we have to, build a stronger community, really.
Right. Absolutely. So, well, let's turn it over to Amber for a few seconds. Let her talk, because Amber started with us, I guess. Well, Amber's been doing work for years, but we actually kind of joined forces last probably February, around that time. So it's been a little over a year, but Amber joined us and brought to the team the web development side. She is a very talented, very smart web developer. And I'm, versus me trying to explain what you do, Amber, I want to let you kind of talk a little bit about some of the things that you've brought to the team.
Okay, thanks, Wendy. So I've been a web developer in various capacities for over 20 years, but when Wendy and I and the rest of the Sum5 team kind of joined forces, it's been an awesome partnership. We've worked with a lot of local businesses. We probably, a lot of the sites you visit every day, a lot of those we've had a hand in local businesses, everything from tourism, insurance, home builders, just all nonprofits, all kinds of different local businesses that we have either created their website from scratch, which is of course one of the primary things we do. But we also help with existing websites. We help companies that maybe need us to analyze their site. Is it responsive on all the different screen sizes? Is everything working correctly? Is it loading fast? I mean, that's a big thing. People want it up quickly, and we've helped them with that sort of thing. Site speed, SEO. Also, just updates and maintenance. A lot of times people have their website, but they don't have time to spend to maintain it and do updates. So we do that for a lot of clients. Sometimes we add functionality just to make their lives easier and make it easier on the people that visit their sites. Sometimes adding something like an online form, maybe to streamline some paper registrations or signups or things like that they receive. We can move that online and make it an easier process for everybody. But one of the coolest things since working with Sum5 is just realizing that it's so neat when a new customer, new client realizes that there's a web design firm right here in Davie County and surrounding local counties. They don't have to necessarily go to Winston or Greensboro. They can stay right here. And we're a small team. We're responsive. We can usually save clients time and money by not having to travel, other places. And we just love serving right here in Davie County and the surrounding counties. Like Molly mentioned, we live here, we work here, we know the community, we know the people. And we have a lot of interconnectivity too, because we may work with a client on their business site, but then they're also on the board of a nonprofit and we help them on that site. So I think there's value in that, just sharing of ideas and just that connectivity between people in smaller communities.
Yeah, I agree. I think we kind of also bring the advantage of we all work from home, so there are obviously some cost savings that come with that, because we're not a large firm, but we do have the capacity to provide a lot of those same services that people may seek out in other larger areas. So Amber, but I appreciate you pointing all that out, because you have been a major asset, and we've so enjoyed having you and having somebody that we could pick up the phone or send a text to and say, why is, or even when a customer needs just a really quick, tweak or fix, having you there to do that. So I'm glad you took some time to share your side. I want to take, last but not least, I want to point out Jordan. Jordan actually came to us, let me think here, Jordan, has it been over 2 years?
Right at 3 years.
Right at 3 years. Jordan was a student at Carolina, and she was looking for a summer internship. And I had never had an intern before, but we decided to give it a shot. And I am so thankful that I did, because Jordan is, obviously, you can tell she is younger, but in terms of somebody who has a, that professionalism, that maturity, the ability to turn things around, the organization, time management, she has it all. So since she, once she graduated, she continued to stay on with us pretty much in a part-time capacity. She does have another full-time position, but she has been a huge asset as well. Jordan handles a lot of our copywriting for us. She is a fantastic writer. She also has been, I would say, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, has been a huge, she has played a huge part, just because with all of the stuff that's happened through the COVID situation, we quickly realized that some of the things that we were doing with our business, we had to adapt and do things differently. And we've always done social media, but there were some more new age, I guess, type outreaches. And Jordan has been great at being able to sort of make sure we were up to standard and up to date. So Jordan, I want to give you just a few minutes to share some of the stuff that you've done for us, and just let you speak.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Wendy. But yeah, as soon as took that internship 3 years ago, I was hanging on as much as I could, because it's been such a great relationship and partnership to be able to get to do this and learn more about the local businesses and everything just around here. But like Wendy said, I do a lot of the copywriting. So whether that is newsletters or brochures or blogs, social media, helping out and partnering with Molly, and also working with Amber too and doing website copy for local businesses, whatever it is, like if you have it in your head, but if you're very much inundated in the industry talk, but you want it to be able to relate to other people in the community where everyone can understand it, that's something we can break down and really put that into words for you and tell a story through whatever medium you're looking at. And I think that's one of the great parts of this is, I don't know one specific industry more than another, but we can always do research and tag team and get the story out that you want to put out on whatever public forum it is.
Yeah, and you've done a great job of that. And something that I always think about, Jordan does a lot of writing for DavieLiFE, a lot of the articles when we need to assign somebody or assign a writer to someone who has an article scheduled. Often that's Jordan. But another thing that I wanted to point out, I think a lot of businesses, and we have found this over the years, they collect email addresses, but they just collect them and don't do anything with them. They have these massive email lists that they've had customers sign up, as they're checking out somewhere, or they've registered for something after they've used a service. And those are such a powerful, people gave you those addresses because they want to hear from you. And when you're not actually taking those and reaching out to those customers, you're really losing a great opportunity. And that's where we've worked with several businesses where we've taken those lists and been able to develop those and use those for regular, email correspondence, whether that was a monthly newsletter or just, letting folks know when a special event is getting ready to happen. But I think that's a good example of people have good intentions and they want to do something, but they just don't have time because they're too busy running the business. So that's where a lot of things like that, we can kind of step in and fill the gap and allow a business to do some of those things that they want to do. And again, oftentimes just by being able to do those things, if it brings in one or two new customers, you're quickly paying for the service that you've contracted with us to do. So so girls, anything else we want to add or that we've missed?
Do you want me to go ahead and speak to DavieLiFE June?
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to tell y'all that we are working hard on DavieLiFE June. There have been many questions coming our way. I know people have sent me texts and emails and messages and just said, hey, is the magazine still coming out? And the big answer is yes, the magazine is still coming out. We're not going to skip publishing an issue. One thing that I think all of us have learned over the past few weeks is that there's so much good to share. I can't tell y'all how many conversations the four of us have had over the past few weeks about really awesome things that are going on in our community, whether it's businesses adapting, people filling a role or a void that's there in the community. I mean, that's the joy of working in our community and beyond, is being able to get a bird's eye view of things that are going on. And I think we've seen so many positives. And for me personally, I'm really excited about the June issue. I'm ready to be able to get some of these things on paper and share them with you. We have spoken to many of our advertisers already. I'll tell you that things are going to be a little bit different as far as distribution goes. Historically, a big part of our distribution is through the school system, and unfortunately that's just not going to happen. Also, a lot of our distribution revolves around foot traffic, and that's limited right now as far as, fitness centers and banks and grocery stores and things like that. But we are going to find a way. We have plans actually, to get the magazine into our readers' hands. And so we're moving forward. We're moving forward with excitement and with anticipation of a really, really good summer issue. I will just go ahead and make a note that if you're an advertiser, if I haven't already been in touch with you, I will be in touch with you this week. And if you're not an advertiser, now's a great time to join us. If your business has adapted, if you're offering a new service, if you're a new business, I know there have been new businesses pop up during this situation. If you want to continue to reach the people of Davie County and beyond, we're talking about reaching into Forsyth County, reaching into Yadkin County, just crossing our borders, but what really includes our whole community in general, then reach out. You can reach out to me or Wendy this week. If we can hear from you by the end of this week, we'll definitely be able to get you in this issue. But, it's going to be a good one. So I'm just really excited to share that with y'all.
Okay. Well, I am too. So, and I think we're all very grateful for the folks who have given us the opportunity to work with them. It's always humbling when somebody comes to you and wants you to do something for their business, because I think we all know, especially when it's someone's business. That's almost like it's an extension of their family, like an extra family member. So anyhow, I hope folks will take a few minutes to watch this and maybe learn a little bit more about us and know what we do sort of behind the scenes and between issues. So we don't just sit back and take a 2-month vacation between issues. So anyhow, well, I thank you all for hopping on here with us and chatting and sharing all the things that you all do. And anything else? Okay. Well, I guess we will say goodbye, and thanks again, y'all.
Thanks.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.